Welcome to the show, 5-Star Fam. I'm AJ, and this is Marc. Before we get into it, become part of the notification squad by hitting the bell next to the subscribe button on YouTube.
This segment is sponsored by Thinking Man Tavern, a cozy Decatur neighborhood pub. Grab a tasty beverage from a wide variety of selections and a plate of something delicious from the menu. To go, check out Thinking Man Tavern.
So, welcome back to the show, Marc. And LA United last week against NYCFC, that wasn't maybe the most promising result. It was a result, at least. But, what's your temperature on the team at the moment? Obviously, with that draw, we are in fifth. We, in that sense, do, at the very least, have a couple games in hand on some of the teams, and then as well, maybe a game in hand on the teams that maybe we can realistically maybe catch, possibly on the weekend, because no one's catching the Revolution. That's annoying. No one saw that coming. But what's your feeling on the team right now? Are we, because we're in 7th, which is above that red line for the playoff spot. Can we keep that playoff spot?
We can. We are, in terms of how I feel, we are a little too close to that red line. Like, I would like some breathing room between Atlanta United and the red line. Above it, of course. But again, it's all because of like the schedule. Like you mentioned, we have a game in hand on most of the teams above us, I think, except Red Bull. So where we are in the standings could fluctuate. It wasn't that long ago that we were 5th, So, and the fact that Atlanta United didn't play this past weekend, other teams sort of gained on Atlanta, but obviously we'll still all end up playing the same amount of games. Mm-hmm. I'm optimistic. I'm still optimistic that they'll make the playoffs. I'm hoping that we can make the push for a top 4 finish, because that means at least one home game.
Right. Because at the very moment, we would be facing the Philadelphia Union, which has not really been a kind fixture this season. It's our old friend, Parcero, our Parcero homie, would probably be licking his chops a little bit at that matchup, and I think we, for me personally, I feel like it kind of, you have to ask us week by week, because it really gets to a point where we're jumping so many playoff spots up and down or out. It's just, and especially with Josef Martinez or Ezequiel Barco, missing from the squad or missing from the 11s, it really starts to make an impact on how many points we can get, because obviously with them in the squad, we play a lot better. But let's get into, that NYCFC match. And we largely look pretty good throughout it. I mean, maybe the first 15-20 minutes, maybe not spectacular, but we definitely had more of the control for a lot of it. And Marcelino Moreno, as always, was just bossing everything. Mateo Sassetu as well, bossing midfield. I think he had a 94% pass complete percentage. But it is also like we drop points at another point in time of the match where we have been tending to do that throughout the season. I think 75th minute or later, something of a stat of we've dropped 11 points from a winning position, and so that's pretty bad. 11 points right now.
Not great.
Yeah, even just half of those points, we'd be sitting pretty in maybe 3rd even. And so, or at least tied for 2nd or 3rd, and so that's a big impact. And it's not like every team's gonna be perfect and not drop points from a losing position ever, but it just seems like it's been an occurrence that is very, very annoying.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I think you can try to I guess, give yourself the logic that it's a bit of bad luck, and that goal could have come up any time. But when it comes so late, I think there's an extra kind of emotional twist of the knife feeling. And yeah, I was just thinking, like, what if they'd held on versus Philadelphia? What if they held on versus NYC? Obviously, that's 4 points right there, and that would do 4 points would put us, I think, in fifth or fourth even. I don't know.
Yeah, it'd be about fourth.
Somewhere,
Yeah.
somewhere in there. And so it hurts.
Yeah.
But one thing I will say, having had the chance to like kind of sleep on it, next day I was thinking about it. Or at least no Josef at the start, no Barco. Sosa is forced off with a knock, it seems like. So, and I think those were bad breaks. I also thought it was interesting. I saw the quote from Pineda where he said he felt he maybe pulled Araujo too early. I definitely think Araujo was having a fantastic game. And I thought for sure he was gonna score, but he did get the assist. Very Almiron like in the way he carried the ball through the middle and then laid it off to Moreno. But yeah, it's I don't know, these games with versus NYCFC, I feel like are always tricky. Like, like they're never, because they're not a bad team. They've had seasons where they're better, but I can't remember the last time that they were just outright bad. You know what I mean? So they obviously have quality players. And I do think, and this is a point that you made, that the subs changed the tenor of that game. Probably the last 15 to 20 minutes or so.
Right. And definitely, yeah. It when you have a Bear come on, you have just guys that are a little bit more seasoned, because they're a young squad, they're inconsistent, and you could arguably say that about us a little bit at times, that we have a little bit of that, but and that's kind of the issue here is, like, we essentially didn't put away our chances, and because we had some other chances that whether they were half chances or the Bello chance that hit the crossbar, that, I mean, that would have been a ridiculous rocket at the top of the net if it had reached there. And I mean, the Moreno goal, just talking about that, was just incredible. The way he was able to hit that with his left foot. It's just like he is on some form, and he has been, like I've been saying, our most consistent performer of the season by far. And did his look at me celebration again, and I'm loving it, man. Like, he, by all accounts, is like a very shy person around the around the locker room, around the training grounds,
right.
But I mean, you can't tell with the amount of swagger that he plays, while he's on the pitch. But at the end of the day, I think it's that exactly what you were saying about Pineda, when Amar Sadish gets brought on, and hasn't really played a ton of minutes, and so he's not at game speed, and you have that he commits a foul in a dangerous area, and they are able to put it away, which I mean, it's also do you think Guzan could have done much better?
I'm not sure that he could have. I'll admit I haven't watched it back, but I mean, we had a pretty good view of it, at least a clear angle of it, and it was a pretty quality strike. I mean, I get that it's not like all the way in the corner, but I think also just being able to get the up and down over the wall from that close in, it's a pretty solid hit, I think. It's just one of the, it's a golazo, but like you were saying, what led to that, I think, is what Eleni and I would probably look in the mirror about, probably try to correct going forward.
Silly fouls.
That particular, right? Yeah, exactly.
No silly fouls around the box late, essentially, is like, But go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, I don't think Guzan could have done too much more than what he did. Especially when you consider, like, he's protecting one side of the goal, so he's expecting the wall to do the job on that side, and the kick just beat it.
Yeah. It just shows, yeah, it's the danger of not putting away your chances. And, yeah, it's also when you have Kubo Torres up top. I mean, was he offering much to you besides, some hold-up play?
Not really. Yeah, no, to be honest. I mean, like, I remember him taking one shot, and it was the kind of shot where it's a tough angle, and it's just like a hopeful hit more than anything.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, like, you're not going to get a whole lot of chances with Kubo. We've seen it. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
I don't want to be too insulting or anything, but it's just
not
trying.
fair.
Yeah, it's like trying to attack with a dull sword. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. It's because it's that. It's like the ball's in behind. He was never gonna get on the end of.
Right.
Even when he's in the box, like you're saying, it's hopeful more than anything. I mean, with Jackson
usually
Conway,
takes like 2 or 3 touches.
Yeah, too many touches to maybe do that. But would Jackson Conway have really made more of a difference? Who knows? When he's come on, I mean, he's still learning his trade. He's still, working on his hold-up game. And then, when Josef Martinez came on, well, this is the thing. I saw some shocking tweets that basically, like, and people in the comments underneath us, our posts on Instagram, basically saying that Josef Martinez needs to retire and Kubo Torres needs to retire. I'm like, what? These are really bad takes, but essentially, that ain't the take. And so, Josef Martinez, he didn't really impact this match, but obviously he's still working his way back from the injury this season, and so anything that he's given is a massive plus. So 10 goals already in a really start and stop season for him, him coming on as a sub when he's come on as a sub like very few times in his career. He's not probably going to maybe be able to impact this match massively, especially when the creators were, I think, mostly tiring, and especially I think when Pineda he essentially kind of sent that message whether he wanted to or not, that we were setting up shop and trying to keep the scoreline as it was. But what did you think about Josef Martinez and maybe that comment that you just heard that was written in our Instagram comments?
Saying like what the motivation is for that take, for that extremely hot take. I don't know, like, what, that he didn't play well for 30 minutes versus NYC. Like, the thing is too, the schedule has been tough, and I realize it's tough on everybody, but you can see the effect it's having, like, on the intensity of play. The players are wearing down. Like, they just came off a huge road win versus Toronto, and then we're playing 3 days later versus NYCFC, and like, again, like, NYCFC is a tough opponent, so I would have been thrilled with the win. I'm not shocked that we dropped points, and I'm not shocked that Josef needed rest, and that's the most prudent thing to do. Like, if we want Josef, we can't assume that LA United will make the postseason, but if we do, we want Josef there. Like, what's the point if Josef's not even available for those games? So, like, we have to take our time with him, and the team can't always be, if Josef's not on the field, we can't win. You know what I mean? Or we can't score anyway. Like, something has to give at a certain point, and this is when these situations when you find out about that, about the other players that you can rely on. So,
right.
But yeah, I mean, like, I think those comments just looking for attention. Like, it really doesn't. Josef has been, I think, in my mind, he's been good this season, right? And when you consider the context of him having to work back from this injury, I think you're happy with this contribution. I mean, I am, so I don't understand what the expectation is of him at this particular point.
Right. And retire, I mean, 10 goals in a, kind of injury / international duty marred season. It's just, yeah, it's a really, really cold take, essentially. That's like, that is about as trash ass of a take that I've ever heard. But anyway, going beyond that, I mean, into how Marcelino Moreno, he got another MLS Team of the Week. I mean, I think that's well deserved here, is just how well he's been playing. And, I think a lot of people are realizing how important he is, because without Barco, without Josef Martinez, he's been putting the team on his back. And, it's he's maybe at times guilty of maybe kind of being almost a one-man team, driving us forward at times. But sometimes we need it. And, he's been he's been able to do that. And then, of course, yeah, like Luis Araujo, getting his bearings. This is his second assist of the season. But yeah, I mean, he also, it's this, like, there's stats out there that pretty much, like, have pretty much kind of like solidified what I've been saying for a while, was that we're one of the best teams with the ball at our feet, in terms of, going at players, dribbling, like, our take-on percentage, and the number of, dribbles completed is, one of the highest, if not the highest in the league. And that, when you have all the players that we want on the pitch as our, first choice 11, you have Ezequiel Barco, you have Luis Araujo, you have Mateus Casetu, you have Marcelino Moreno, Josef Martinez isn't a slouch with the ball at his feet either, and Santiago Sosa also, can beat a man. Yeah, I think it's just, kind of, and then plus you have it from the back too with Alan Franco and then George Bello. I mean, it's just, yeah, we, that's how you can break down a deep lying team. And so I think in that sense, we have done well this season in, in being able to do that. But yeah, but in other news, Atlanta United 2's season has ended, and unfortunately was a massive loss to Tulsa. And so, not a terrible season, but definitely the best year in Atlanta United 2's entire history. And I mean, definitely, you saw Aiden McFadden, a right back, score the most goals for the side, and you also had the mustachioed boy wonder and Rocco Rios Novo, who played a bunch of minutes and games. And yeah, so all in all, a very solid season. They unfortunately miss the playoffs again, and I think that kind of the whole USL thing is going to be changing soon. So it will be announced what league they're going to be playing in and what that's going to look like. But it will be I think fairly interesting to see what's going to happen with Atlanta United 2. But you have any thoughts on Atlanta United 2?
I mean, they showed improvement, and I think that's all you can really ask for. I mean, at the end of the day, we know that it is more so for the development of players coming through the academy. It is a taste of professional football before the first team. We know that's like the main point of it. But it's still good to see them, I think, their play rewarded with results, and hopefully it can continue to trend in that direction. But I think overall, Atlanta United's whole setup, the second team, the academy, and so forth, I think it's in a good place. I think we are seeing the fruits of that labor. Kyle Soto actually wrote a pretty good piece on Dirty South Soccer about that, which I recommend you check out. But I mean, like George Campbell is a perfect example. He's center back. He's been there since day one of the academy existing, which is 2016, right? And he actually had an agreement to go to college, or he signed on to play for Maryland and ended up staying and continuing his development here. And I think we are seeing the fruits of that labor, and hopefully that can continue. Whether it is that there are pros that come through and play for Atlanta or play for other MLS teams or move on to Europe. I think it's a great sign that we're showing the ability to do that.
Right. And so getting into the matches this week, just to kind of cover it, talk about it. Inter Miami is on Wednesday, Toronto FC on Saturday. Both are home games at the Benz. So this podcast will kind of cover both of those matches in terms of how we're gonna be feeling about it. But Inter Miami, they're not in the playoff spots, but they are maybe capable of playing spoiler for sure. They're in slightly better form, and Gonzalo Higuain, has definitely been at the top for them. Someone that is for sure a danger man, and I think Miles Robinson is key in this because he has been able to stop him previously, and it is also I think against Inter Miami, maybe a side that's even without their defensive midfielder, and I'm completely drawing a blank right now for some reason. Old Frenchman, Blaise Matuidi. Anyway, even without Blaise Matuidi, they still, I think hold some, a good defense. Obviously with LGP as well in there. He's someone that we have to, maybe agitate and, get him on a yellow, and we can really, I think, start running at their defense a little bit more. Even though LGP and Barco are, previous buddies, there has been no love loss with them on the pitch. He definitely will put a knee or a leg into Barco and pretend like he never did it. And it's
that's just how he plays. I mean, that's I would expect nothing different from LGP. In fact, I appreciate the respect that he shows at Atlanta United by fouling the shit out of Barco or Moreno or whoever. And I'm sure, I would not be surprised if there are some heated moments. I mean, I don't think they'll actually swing on each other, but I could see Barco, getting hot real quick for a second, just maybe forgetting his buddy for a second. But you love it. It's the competitive nature of it. Inter is another one of those tricky opponents. I mean, even though they're only on 38 points, they're probably not going to make the playoffs, but they have decent players. And all the games between Atlanta and Miami seem to be close, scrappy. So, in fact, the last match that we played Miami, we won because of a penalty. Kind of fortunate, So
very fortunate, and because LGP, I mean, he pretty much was the guy who conceded that penalty, and in that sense, really,
and it was a penalty, absolutely,
it was a penalty, but it was kind of hilarious that it was LGP, and yes, again, LGP, thank you for that assist for Josef Martinez's 100th goal. Yep, grazie. But it is.
I'm surprised you didn't hug him afterwards.
I know, right? Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't join in on the celebration and swap kits and stuff. No, that would have been a terrible.
I'm sure he went by the locker room afterwards. He knows his way around the bends.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he knows where that is. But it's definitely in terms of Inter Miami, like they still again have tricky customers. Lewis Morgan is another danger man for them that has scored against us. That's it's just we need to keep our eyes peeled. We will have had a week between matches, so that will be good. But against Toronto on Saturday, that will be a little trickier. Obviously, I think maybe not obviously, but I would imagine they will want to play Alejandro Pozuelo and Josie Altidore from the start, from the off, because they definitely looked a lot better against us when that happened. Jefferson Soltado, great player, but all 5'3" of him is not going to be too much, hold up play wise, troubling for Atlanta United. But Josie Altidore, yeah, that's a little bit more, I think, where you're okay. This is a little bit more daunting up top, if that were the case. But getting into Inter Miami, like we won't predict Toronto, but in terms of Inter Miami, in terms of the starting 11, let's kind of go through it together. Goose between the sticks, of course, but would you go with 3-man back line here, or what would you do?
Yeah, stick with the 3-man back line. It's been working. So probably Robinson, Franco, and Walks again, especially with the week off.
Yeah, agreed there. Yeah, like I said, Robinson will be key for Higuain for sure. Although Alan Franco, he will have his hands full too. I think, just both of them. We'll just have to really keep an eye out on him. Even though I think, he I think was playing a lot against Anton Walks last match when they were playing, and so it's of course all three of the center backs will have to keep their eyes peeled for their talisman. But getting into the wing backs, would you change there, Lennon Bello?
No, I like them. I think they do a pretty good job on the at the wing back spots. So roll with Lennon and Bello again.
Yeah. Same here. Now into midfield. Would you do it as a 3? Would you do it as a 2? What would you do? And who are they?
I would probably do Sosa and Moreno in the midfield.
And that's if Sosa can play, because Sosa, is a pretty much is a decision on either Tuesday night or Wednesday. If he can actually, start or not. He has kind of been in and out of training, so there's that. Josef Martinez as well, unfortunately. So, that will be a factor. Sosa, if he can play, and if he can't, I'm thinking you probably need some person to kind of break it up a little bit, and I think Mo Adams does come in here if it were. With Mateus Setu
from the start,
yeah. And so because I feel like Inter Miami does have enough in attack, and we need someone to be able to break up some play. But Mateus Setu is in that other spot, and then for me, I think Marcelino Moreno is in that 10 role. So what about you? Who are your forwards?
Yeah, I'm gonna go. Wait. Oh, do we have Barco back yet or no?
We do.
We do. Okay, yeah. So I think I would go ultra aggressive here. I think Josef, Barco, Araujo up top, which is why I went for Moreno in the midfield. Now Sosa can't play. That does change the equation a little bit. I know Sejdic just came back, so maybe he's not ready to start yet. And then Setu and Moreno in the midfield that's probably a little too aggressive. So
very aggressive,
but I think in general, right. But I think in general, I just think you gotta get 6 points out of these next 2 games. They're 2 home games versus 2 teams that are below us in the standings. We really should be getting maximum points. And so I would not mind seeing an aggressive setup. It does probably hinge on who can play that holding midfield role, but I would play, Bam. I'd play him again.
Okay.
Before Horseman.
Oh my God. Yeah, no, that's so aggressive. I don't think I could do that. It's just, that's asking for some trouble, I feel like, and so that can't be me. But I think I kind of allude to it. I think is that Josef Martinez, he's questionable. I would say maybe just don't risk him for too long. And it is that maybe it is where Ezequiel Barco and Luis Araujo are the two up top, and then Josef Martinez does come on later again. And so that way you can actually control how many minutes he does play, because our run-in, in the rest of the season is fairly, pretty forgiving. So, whether it's at home or away, I think, you have Josef Martinez able to play. At least 3 of 4 of them maybe start after, largely being able to rest for, about a week and a half. That's pretty good. And so that's some good, raring to go for him for the, really business end of the season. So, but yeah, so for you were saying, Josef, Barco, and Araujo, right? So, okay, that's, we'll see what happens. Yep. Yeah, guys, let us know what you think in terms of the lineup and what you think will happen. But that gets us to what you think the score is going to be. So, Inter Miami, LA United on Wednesday. What's going to happen?
I'm thinking 3-1. I'm just feeling optimistic. I just feel like with the week off especially, we'll just be fresher out the gate, get the job done.
Okay. I love it. I might even go a little bit more kind of bullish slightly. That I think it's going to be a 2-0 win. We're going to have a shutout. I think, our defense can, I think, shut down Miami. I think it's one of those, if they don't come out guns blazing in that sense, then I think we can, do a number on them. So I think it will come to, I think, obviously, how we finish the game. And so that will be key. So will we be able to keep them at bay for the entire 90 minutes? I hope so. We've had a week off. I would absolutely hope that fatigue is not a factor. So, 2-0 for me. But, guys, let us know what you think in the comments below. But, until next week, we're pretty much going, full mystery on who's going to be on each week. But we'll see what it's going to be next week. But, guys, everyone, thank you so much for watching, for, commenting, for everything. But remember to like, share, comment, subscribe. For Marc, I'm AJ, and we'll see you in the next video.